Cruise ships, they can get hot. I mean, we're talking metal, big hunks of metal floating out in the ocean directly under the sunlight in the middle of summer. They get hot. So thinking that the air conditioning on cruise ships is going to work exactly the same as it does in your house, that's kind of an unreal expectation, especially if you think your cruise cabin is going to be 60 degrees. Because if 60 degrees is what you're looking for, cruising is probably not going to be for you. But not only is there the expectation that your cabin's going to be 60 degrees, because if you can't be guaranteed it's 60 degrees, you won't book another cruise. Why, on top of that, is it necessary to be rude? Why is it necessary to talk about somebody else and they're essentially body shaming them over your desire for it to be 60 degrees? But that is the exact comment we have for you today. And I'm actually not going to be the one reading you the comment. Nope. This comment came into Carnival Cruise Line's brand ambassador, John Heel, and I'm going to let him read you the comment.
And everybody's favorite subject today is going to be air conditioning. Right, here we go. This came in to me this morning and it says, I'm sure you will get me, John, because like me and my hubby, we are all fatties. We need the air conditioning cold. We were on the beautiful Carnival Jubilee and it was not cold enough. We both spent the cruise with night sweats. The workers, I think she means the crew, checked our cabin temperature and it was 69 degrees. We run our house at between 60 and 65. Our cabin at 69 was far too hot. We are wanting to book the Jubilee again. We had a fabulous time, but we will not unless you can guarantee us it will be at the temperature that we want. I'm sure a big old boy like you will sympathize. A big old boy like me. Oh dear. It's amazing, you know, people, it doesn't matter. It's all good. Yes, I am a big guy and yes, I like it cold. 60 degrees, never going to happen. I just don't think it is, but that's not the reason that I am going to talk about this. We are approaching the summer. It's already May and it'll soon be June, July, August. And this is when the sea temperatures are at the very highest. And I just want you to know that there could be times when public spaces are a little warm. Now, people sometimes panic a little bit on embarkation day. They walk on the ship and they think it's hot. They go to their cabin and it's maybe not as cold as they would want. Now, first of all, the room attendants, the cabin attendants, will always have the air conditioning set to the lowest. So when you walk in, it's already there. They don't do that in hotels in Miami, let me tell you. What I can tell you also is, as I said, it does get a little warm on embarkation day. Why? Well, first of all, a lot of the ships are running off the shoreside power. Also, the ship isn't in motion, but most importantly, you have to remember there are many areas of the ship that, unlike when it's traveling, when it's in motion, when it's at sea, that are open. You have the gangways that are open with the hot air coming in. You have the what's called the marshalling area, which is the area where we take on the luggage and all the supplies. Those big shell doors are open and the heat is coming in. So that's why on embarkation day, it might be a little hotter. But once those doors are closed, once the ship is sailing, it is, of course, better and things will cool down. And I think for most people, I think it's safe to say most people are absolutely fine with the cabin temperatures. And it's the same on Lido as well. Remember, the doors are always opening and closing. And sometimes it can get a little warm with the humidity coming in inside. So just be prepared that as we go through the summer months, little areas of the ship may be a little bit warm. It's never going to be unbearable. And please, I beg you, if you have a problem, if you're too hot in your cabin, please don't write to me afterwards and say it was too hot. Speak to somebody, call the guest services desk, tell your cabin attendant, do something so that the crew can do all they can to make it better for you during the cruise rather than shout at me after the cruise. I would be very grateful. Remember, at the end of the day, they just want to help you. So, as far as these guests are concerned, I'm going to be honest. If you want it to be 60 degrees, don't book. Don't book. I don't think you can book any ship where it's going to be 60 degrees. And 65, 66, 67, 68, those are all within normal parameters. And you can adjust it, of course, as well. So there you go. Yes, I am a fatty, and that's why I want your help. I'm going to give you some help. I've sent an email to all of the ships, and they are all ready to do this. If you are in any way conscious about your own weight, and yet you still want to eat a fabulous Guy's burger, I have arranged for all the ships to honour this. Go and order a straight up burger. They'll put an extra patty in there, extra cheese, but there will be loads of lettuce and tomato on the top. The crew member will need you to ask for the John Heald burger. Ask for the John Heald burger. So it's going to be double patty, extra cheese, and a bit of salad on the top. The crew member will understand that you've ordered the John Heald burger. And when they hand it over to you, they will shout at the top of their voice, "Here's your salad!" And everyone will think you're a healthy eater.
So there you go, directly from Carnival Cruise Line's brand ambassador. Look, 60 degrees, it's just not going to happen. And he gave all the reasons why it can be hot on a cruise ship at certain times. Doors opening and closing, parts of the ship open while in port. And yeah, it is usually cooler on a ship when it's moving out at sea than, of course, when it is docked somewhere. And when it comes to cruising, look, honestly, if you can get your cabin into the low 70s, 71, 72, 73, for cruise ships, that's really pretty good. But why was it necessary to point out John Heald's weight over your cabin temperature desires? Why was that needed? Why was that required? Why did that need to be part of the conversation? But the one thing I can definitely agree with from all of it, one thing I can agree with is, look, if that's what you expect, then just don't book that cruise. Because look, at the end of the day, you are going to cruise during summer months, going to a place that is very hot, in a ship made of metal directly under the sunlight into the Caribbean. It's going to be hot. And chances are that cruise ship AC, it's not going to be as good as what you may be used to back home. And that is going to be our video for today. If you've enjoyed today's video, do me a favor and hit that like button. If you haven't done so yet, do me a favor and hit subscribe. It is free to do so. Helps our channel grow. Let you know anytime we put out a new video. Hope everyone out there is having a really great day. And like always, we will see you out on the high seas.